What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're doing the top 5 PvP teams in Grand Cross pre-November festival and the 0.5 anniversary, guys. So I wanted to do this top 5 teams here since we have a lot of really good teams in PvP right now in Grand Cross, and I wanted to talk about which ones are going to be the best and rank them from number 5 all the way to the number 1 best team right now in the game. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We are on the road to that 50,000 subscribers. If you guys didn't know, man, we are closing in on that 47k, so definitely make sure to turn on post notifications and hit that sub button so you don't miss out on future videos. Now with that out of the way, guys, let's actually hop in here and talk about the top 5 teams, and we'll start with the number 5 team being, and I'm going to remove it here because I'm on Photoshop so you guys will see the thing change to the Goddess team. So we have Goddess team right here with LR Margaret, Mael, Queen Elizabeth, and what is that, Eli, or you could run you know, Tristan in the backline, right? So let's actually move over to the game, guys, and I'll give you guys a more in-depth explanation on how they're the number 5 team. Alrighty, guys, so in my opinion, man, the reason why Goddess team is the number 5 team in PvP is because they're honestly not really competing that well against the top meta teams in the game, like the number 3 to 1. Those teams, this team really just can't really handle. But this is still a very, very strong team and can easily get you champion 1 in the game. And the reason why the team works so well is because you have, obviously, you know, LR Margaret here for a bunch of basic stats. She's going to be buffing the team with, you know, Goddess Ally basic stats. She gives them crit chance, crit damage. She has a really good CC being in LR as well. And yeah, I mean, she's just going to be a staple on the team. You got Mael being the main DPS character on this team because of his Holy Relic and also his passive here where he's working around the whole Goddess team. His Holy Relic is going to be really strong, gaining either damage dealt on single targets or attack related stats on AoEs. And then for his passive, he can pretty much be immune to stat decrease in PvP across the entire board for his whole team and get a bunch of inherent damage reduction with some all stats. So yeah, I mean, this character is just absolutely absurd, guys, and he is the main part of this team that I feel like, you know, makes the Goddess team what they are. And then you have Queen Liz here, which is still another, you know, crazy to say, but still a very good character for this team. You know, even though Queen Liz came out about a year ago, same with, you know, LR Margaret, and Mael came out before that too, but he got obviously a Holy Relic to get him a little bit of a buff. But yeah, Queen Liz still, you know, to this day, very strong. If you have her high dupe as well, guys, you do gain a long-lasting revive up to a 10-turn amount of revives you can get with this character. So yeah, just absolutely insane. Lower dupe, she's not that insane, but it's still a very viable character for the team. Yeah, and then for the backline here, you got obviously Eli, or you can run like Tristan. I think either or, you know, you either do Tristan backline for the defense related, or you go with Elat for the basic stats and the damage dealt. It's up to you. You do either like a damage variant or a more tanky variant of God's team. But yeah, guys, I think this team is still very good, and in my opinion, the number 5 team in PvP. Alright, guys, now moving on to the number 4 team in PvP here, guys. We got the Human team. Now, this is actually crazy, man. The Human team being the number 4 team. It's crazy to say, man, but yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are just a lot stronger right now in the game, guys. Let's kind of talk about it, man. So let's actually move back to the game, and we'll do, you know, a discussion about the team. Alright, guys, so what makes the Human team the 4th best team in PvP right now? In my opinion, the reason why the Human team isn't really as strong as it can be is because they're kind of being held back by the fact that Infect is very, very prevalent right now in the meta, guys. You got, you know, Demon team obviously having the Infect. You got the Unknown team, which can have the Infect right now too, obviously being 2 very strong teams. Yeah, no, like it's tough, man. You know, when you're running Percival and you're facing a, you know, any infect type character, it really is hard to deal with. You know, the team is still very strong though. You know, you have a lot of healing. Like Percival here is providing a bunch of, you know, defense related. He's giving a bunch of HP as well. You know, allows him to restore HP too. You know, he's doing really good. I think Ascanor here is obviously a very strong character still and can still dish out a ton of damage too. So I would not even, you know, doubt Ascanor, you know, clutching a match, or even coming in with like the one bang at the beginning, like with a single target. Like he just hits super hard. Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing holding this team back right now is the fact that other teams have Infect and can kind of deal with this team. Yeah, and then also the fact that I think the teams right now are kind of turn 1 based one banging, you know. A lot of the teams in the game right now, guys, especially like the higher level teams, are very, like, you know, centered around turn 1 just killing one of your strongest characters or just wiping your whole team, right? So yeah, very hard to say like a human team would be competing because they're more of like a turn 2 team. But once you've like, you know, done all your stuff turn 1 where you got Arthur all of his HP stacks, and then, you know, you get Chaos Control the turn after, that's when you start, you know, picking up. But yeah, I mean, the human team right now kind of lacking in the turn 1 department, so maybe we do get more of like a turn 1 character. Arthur's still, you know, a great character, obviously, you know, having Chaos Control, the taunt when he does get his Chaos Control up, you know, he gets a bunch of max HP, scales 3 HP as well, and has like inherent attack scaling too. So yeah, you know, another really good character. And then LR Liz backline, guys, is obviously very strong too, because you're providing the really good CC that an LR has, and then also the fact that Liz has HP related 15% from the backline. So, you know, you have a lot of that all combined there. And yeah, no, human team is still very strong. I think this is easily a team that can get you champion 1. Again, as I mentioned with God's team, guys, all these teams on this list can easily get you champion 1 depending on your matchups, right? You're still able to do it, and I don't think any of these teams here have kind of fallen out of the point where you literally can't run them. Like, these are still viable teams. They're just not really, you know, doing as well as they should against the more you know, dominant meta teams right now in the game. So there's your number 4, guys. Let's move on now to the number 3 team in PvP. All right, guys, now for the number 3 best team in PvP right now in Grand Cross, we actually do got the 7 Deadly Sins team here. Now, Sins team is still one of the strongest teams in the game, guys. Being number 3 right now on my list still makes it very strong. And the fact that the whole team is URs, except Infinity Merlin backline, like, she's obviously not a UR yet, or you know, I mean, or LR or anything like that, right? We don't have like a UR backline for Sins or anything like that. But yeah, Sins is just absolutely insane. Let's actually move over to the game here, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on the team and where I think it, you know, kind of does well in the meta. So yeah, guys, now talking about the Sins team here in PvP, I think Sins team is still great. It's a very good turn 1 team. Again, we mentioned that, you know, the things that the Goddess team and the human team kind of struggled with is the fact that they're more build up teams. You don't really have them turn 1 to be able to do just absurd amounts of damage, whereas this team is able to do that. You have UR Gulthar obviously being able to rank up, you know, UR Escanor right there, and he's able to deal a ton of damage. You know, Melly on the turn 2 will probably be fully ranked up, especially if they're running like an infect character against you or any type of debuff character, right? You're gonna be able to get Melly's passive proc. And yeah, man, just very, very strong team, guys. Like, this is one of those like turn 1 teams that can work. If you do go first with this team still in the meta, you're easily beating the number 1 and number 2 team as long as you're going first, right? You still have that viability. And I think, yeah, I mean, you know, with that strength that this team has versus like humans, you know, the Gods team, I think this team is still a viable team in the meta and easily able to get you champion 1, just like the other 2 teams that I mentioned. But I think this team is a lot more easier to do it because of the fact that if you already have really good cosmetics on this team, you have high dupes on these characters, you have really good CC, you're gonna out CC a lot of these other teams that, you know, the top 2 teams I'm going to mention are not as high CC as this team, and so that, you know, gives you that leeway where this team can actually maybe clutch it, you know, against those other 2 teams by going first and being able to one-shot them. So yeah, overall, guys, very strong team still in the meta, and a viable team at that. I would definitely recommend you guys run Sins if you have it already built, and yeah, it's just a really good team right now in the game. Alright, guys, now moving on to the number 2 best team in Grand Cross PvP right now, man. We got the Demon team here, guys. Now, Demon team, again, like, this is another turn 1 team. We're talking, you know, teams that are able to turn 1 wipe your enemy, you know, team, and just an absolutely insane amount of damage here, guys. Let's move over to the game, and I'll kind of elaborate here on the team and how it actually works. So yeah, guys, Demon team, again, like as I mentioned, you know, a very strong turn 1 team. They got a lot of support on this team as well, and a lot of variants you can run too. Whereas all the other teams, I feel like they're kind of, you know, set in stone. You don't really have any flexible options. This team has a lot of flex options here, guys. You have, if we go to, you know, well, you can go to Unknown as well for 2 characters. You got Demiurge, and then you got Gelda. But if you go to Demons here, you actually got a very good chunk of characters you can slot in that still work on this team and do very well. You know, Demon King still is a very good character. Ominous Nebula Zeldris I've seen people actually run it and do well with. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I feel like keeps this team as strong as it is Demiurge and Astarosa. Like, these 2 I feel like are the must runs on the team right now, and then the rest are just kind of flex slots. So like, even Chandler backline here, I think he's still very good, and he does have that backline supportive effect where what is it? I think he's giving, yeah, he gives you your 30% damage reduction and 15% attack related stats. Like, I think all of that is very, very good, but that still is like kind of flex. Like, you can really run like Nanashi back here. You can run LR Liz if you want some more CC, right? But yeah, I mean, Estarossa though is very, very good, man. This Halloween Estarossa, such a strong character. I mean, if you look at his passive here, guys, he gets 30% all stats turn 1 while being able to dish out an absolutely absurd amount of damage. The only way this Estarossa kind of gets countered is if you're facing a mirror match, but they have Demon King, because Demon King can lock commandments, and that's what cucks that red Estarossa, right? If he's not able to remove his own buffs, then he's kind of a, you know, a sitting duck, right? So yeah, that's why I think Demon Team right now is actually very good, and there is a lot of, like, you know, outplaying in like mirror matches, and you know, even though you more so like turn 1 a lot of these teams, if you're running like a counter Demon Team, you run like you know, Demon King himself, right? Or a Demon Team, I mean, right? You have a Demon King against this like Estarossa variant, you can actually beat it. So yeah, I mean, just a lot of flexibility with this team, guys. It's not just set in stone with this just one team, but it's still very strong at that. And I think Estarossa and Demiurge just doing as good as they do, they can really just turn 1, pretty much kill anything in the game. Alrighty guys, now moving on to the number 1 team in PvP in my opinion. That team is gonna have to go to LR Milim and Unknowns, guys. Just an absolutely absurd character. I mean, we know exactly what LR Milim's able to do. Let's actually move over to the game and I'll give you guys more of a, you know, explanation here on kind of the team, and also why it's actually very flexible as well, even being the number 1 team. So yeah, overall, guys, I mean, Unknown Team is going to be a very strong team in the meta right now. And the reason why it is such is because of how strong this character LR Milim is. They really gave LR Milim pretty much everything a character needs in Grand Cross to do as strong as they can. This is a turn 1 character, a absolutely insane tank after turn 1. You know, very, very good in terms of just like CC as well. You know, I think she gets to around like that 76k CC, right? She's just a very, very strong you know, character right there. You have Gother on the team, which is really good for rank ups. You have Sobnok here, which I think is the most replaceable character on the team. I do think Nanashi as well could be swapped out for Camilla if you're running more of like an offensive team. You know, if you want to get the actual like I think Camilla gives, I think it's a, what is it, like 10% extra attack or something like that, and you do gain some pierce rate too, versus Nanashi just, you know, raw basic stats with the, you know, 30% across the board. Yeah, no, you have like a bunch of flexible options here for the third slot here, guys. Like if we go to Unknown, you can really just run kind of any Unknown in this slot. I've seen people run Nabarel for the attack up, right? Because you have 3 Unknowns, so you get 30% attack. You can run Thor in this slot. You can run Gelda. You run Demiurge, actually. I've seen people run, instead of Gother, they run Demiurge and Gelda with Milim, which is technically a full Unknown team still too, right? So, you know, just insane, guys, with the team options you can do. You know, what are other characters you could run? Albedo, you know, she's obviously great. Tyr is really good. Hell probably does really well too. Yeah, there's just so many teams you can run, guys. The thing that makes this team as strong as it is, it's a very strong turn 1 team. I think this is the strongest turn 1 team in the entire game. So if you go first, like nothing is beating you with an LR Milim. The only like counter to LR Milim really that I've seen is if going second, by the way, is just kind of a what is it? I'm trying to find the Elizabeth down here, but the blue Liz or like fraudulent strats. Like if you run like a fraudulent here that like fully fills gauge off the like dying right there, like if you run like Milim with like fraudulent or like Milim like you know, blue Elizabeth here, like that could be another team that could work too, because you would just get your Milim ultimate by the turn 2 and you would full heal from the Elizabeth, right? And you would just one bang pretty much anybody too. Like that's a fairly good counter team. But overall, guys, I mean, Milim is just absolutely insane, and no character right now in the game is as strong as she is for PvP. So yeah, guys, that's going to be my top 5 teams in PvP right now for Grand Cross. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you would rate a team higher, or even you would have a team off the list for another team, let me know in the comments below what you guys think and what other teams that you guys actually run in PvP that are successful. But with that out of the way, man, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.